Hello, my name is Dan Johnson and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking a look at two brand new B&M sets, and I normally don't manage to get them in time. It's not normally worth me doing a video on them because I tend to get a set months after they've been released. For example, the Davros sets came out in like October, I didn't get one till late December, so the time sort of passed. But luckily today I went into my local B&M and was able to get two of the brand new sets. I was quite lucky for the fact that the 3-figure set was the only one left on the shelf, but they had plenty of Daleks, plenty of Davroses, and some tiny weird TARDIS things. So I'm very fortunate that today I can talk about them. We'll start off with the Dalek set. So we have a weird sort of bronze colour to these. I don't know what the colour symbolises. Maybe it's a different era, perhaps. Maybe the Ninth Doctor is represented like this. So we have, obviously, two Daleks from the Parting of the Ways here. We have an Imperial Guard Dalek and a Bronze Dalek. We have a limited edition stamp and our standard packaging. This is number 19 of History of the Daleks, blimey. On the back, we have a bit of a blurb talking about the episode as well as the Daleks. And once again, similar information also stating that it is a set that comes from the era of the Ninth Doctor. Our second set is in a very nice sort of blue colour. It's from the 10th Doctor's era. It features a River Song, a Cyberman, and a Clockwork Man, it says on the box, but I'd probably call it a Clockwork Droid. Once again, we have a limited edition sticker, and then on the back we have a blurb. It talks a little bit about where the episodes are from. Ironically, it states that the Cyberman is from A Good Man Goes to War, which is not a David Tennant episode, and neither is the River Song figure, which is from the Pandorica Opens. So it's a bit weird to me that they've included two figures that aren't actually part of the era that they're talking about. I've never had a Clockwork Droid before. I've had a Cyberman, but this is a newer release Cyberman. I've had a couple of River Song figures before. I definitely have her in the spacesuit, but we'll take a look at these as we get them out. We'll start off with the Daleks, I think. As I've just peeled these figures out, I would like to say that I definitely prefer it when it used to be sort of a separate thing and not stuck to your background image. I know we don't have dioramas anymore, but I think that it was just much cleaner to preserve the box that way. And now that I've just sort of torn it out, and I tried to do it very carefully, but I have sort of ripped places where the paper has come with it, and it's a bit of a shame. After a little while, we've managed to get all of the figures out of their boxes, and we'll start off with the iconic Bronze Dalek design. Now, I have one of these already, and if I compare it to the other one, this one is slightly darker. Well, actually quite a lot darker, and I believe it's more faithful to the actual colour of the Daleks, in fact. There seems to have been a little bit more highlighting done to the panels here, but other than that, I think that this is pretty much your standard Bronze Dalek, but it's quite nice to have one that feels a little bit more faithful. And then the thing that is pretty unique to this set is a Dalek drone, which is one of these. I was pretty impressed with this. I think there's a nice bit of colour to it. Once again, we've got the highlights across the middle section. It's a nice figure. It's something that I kind of wanted quite a lot when I was a kid. I knew that it was sold with the Emperor Dalek set that I was quite desperate to have, but had no space for, nor no money for, because I was about 6. So now that I have money, I'm able to buy myself a Dalek drone. It's a nice figure. It's a nice variant on a Dalek. It looks very, very cool, very sinister. It is a shame with both figures, particularly the bronze one, that the plunger pieces do feel to be a little bit flimsy. In fact, the bronze one has already bent a lot more than that one has. I mean, there's not a lot I can say about it, other than that it's a really nice Dalek. So if we start talking about the 3-pack, we have first the Cyberman, and I'm very excited to have a Cyberman because I've not had a Cyberman since about 2006, 2007, which I have here now. There is a Cyber Leader variant of this figure, but with only one being on the shelf, I went for whatever was there and took it immediately. There is something about the old design that's sort of more rustic, you know, it's very simple. They've painted black on it all over the place for some reason, and then the bits that connect the arms and legs together and all that just look really unfinished because they've not been painted. Of course, my little sort of 6-year-old brain didn't really care. And now I have a current one in my hand. I have to say there's a massive improvement. The size of them is a lot bigger, which makes them a lot bulkier as well. The chest piece comes out a lot further and is a lot larger. the whole thing just is a bit more striking for that. They've also done a great job with the painting. The colour looks great, no more weird black spotches everywhere, and they've done a lovely job painting the little connectors between all of the ligaments. I think with the design like the Cybermen, I think they do need to be that little bit bigger, because everything feels a little bit squished in this tiny design. But when you put it even fractionally bigger, it makes it look like it all is in proportion, and it all sort of fits together nicely. This Cyberman also comes with a gun. Now this says that it's coming from Good Man Goes to War, but it's also very similar to the one that is in Doomsday. It's a nice sculpt, it's got a little bit of weathering to it. It's a nice accessory. I mean, I'm not sure how well it's going to fit into his hand. Yeah, not great. That's kind of my only qualm, is that it doesn't really sit in his hand very well. Up next is River Song, and we have a nice likeness to Alex Kingston first off. I was a little bit worried from the promotional images that the likeness was a bit rough. As for the outfit, I haven't got too much to say about it, to be honest. It's all black, it's pretty standard, looks pretty faithful to the on-screen appearance. I do find the difference between the hands and the legs being painted in a gloss colour, where the rest of it is painted in matte, is a bit odd. It kind of reminds me a lot of things I used to paint as a kid, where I wasn't really looking at the finish, and I was looking at the colour itself. So a lot of the things I used to paint when I used to paint tiny model cars used to be half matte, half glossy, but that's not really an issue, to be honest. There's a nice little bit of detail on the belt, and she also comes with a little gun, which looks like a nice print of the gun from the episode. It's got an awful lot of weathering on it, and it fits nicely into a little gun holder. So let's take a look at our final figure, and it's of course the Clockwork Droid. I'm really excited to have one of these, finally. I saw them when I was younger, but never actually purchased one. The moulding on that face is absolutely incredible. The outfit is once again lovely. There's also plenty of detail in there in the little cuffs, and this sort of design that they've put all the way in is really nice. What's quite cool about this figure is you can take the head off, and underneath that you have a sort of Clockwork Droid-like look. You can kind of see that they've tried to resemble some of the sort of cogs and things like that within the head. I'm not sure how well that picks up on camera, because I'm having to stare at it quite intensely for it to work. This one also comes with a bit of an accessory which you can place into the sleeve, which sits nicely, and it can now slash everyone at Madame de Pompadour's party. And so that's all of my figures. I'd like to thank you very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video. I know I don't do these things very often. It's just because of the availability of trying to get them, simply. But it's so nice to have these figures when everyone else is getting these figures for once. I'm really, really happy with my Cyberman, with the Clockwork Droid, and of course my Daleks. The River Song figure is quite nice. It's just that it's not something that I particularly desire. I'd much preferred a re-release of the spacesuit variant, or something like that, that's also actually from the 10th Doctor's era, because I think putting the 10th Doctor across something and having two of the figures technically be from different eras, being the 11th era, is a bit weird to me. If you're doing a 10th Doctor Friends and Foes set, then it makes more sense to have actual friends and foes of the 10th Doctor. But never mind. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to place these proudly on the shelf, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.